Welcome to my new channel. You be the judge. I'm recently infatuated with knives, but also involved in a lot of outdoor activities, hiking, fishing, boating, definitely hunting. But knives has really grabbed me in the last year during the pandemic, and I thought I might share a little bit about what I have found online with knives, knife brands, more obscure, more budget-based brands, and share my experience and hopefully have a two-way conversation with anybody else who wants to talk about these. So the first brand I want to talk about, Tucson. It was a fairly new brand to me. I discovered them probably about 2.5 months ago. Heard a lot of good things from other online commentators about their knives. About they've been around quite often. They use very premium materials in many of their knives. They also have some knives with lower or very budget-based materials as well. But they sell them at, well, you can get them on eBay for some really incredible prices if you're patient. Now, Tucson does occasionally sell their knives through whitemountainKnives.com, and I will put a link to this, the first knife I'm reviewing or going over with you today. And that's handy because White Mountain Knives has put a price on it. They have sold it at one point in time, but I have never found any of these knives actually in stock at White Mountain Knives. But they've also converted the metric to our standard measurement. So you'll find how much it weighs in ounces and how long these knives are in inches. When you go on eBay, where I bought all my Tucson knives are from, the listings are in semi-broken English, and they're all in metric system, so millimeters, kilograms, and then you have to keep going back and converting. So I just quickly always go to White Mountain Knives first, see if they have a listing for it, and then that way I can get the stats quick and easy. Occasionally, some of their stuff is also sold on Amazon, but very few. There's an additional shipping fee, but eBay, if you want to get a good deal, is the best place to find these, especially if you're patient. It's free shipping, but the shipping is slow, very slow. My first knife I ordered took 5 weeks to come in. There's still one from that first batch I haven't received yet, so we're 5 weeks ticking. This knife actually came in 2 weeks. That's the quickest I've ever received any of their stuff. So it might be the time of year. It might be a million different things, but it comes slow mail through China. It gets stuck through the custom process, and then you finally do receive it. So, but no further ado, let's introduce. This is my absolute favorite Tucson knife, and probably within the top 3 favorite in my collection, if you can really call it collection at this point, of knives. And this is the TS204. Tucson uses numbers to identify all their knives, and it's my understanding that the 100 series was their first year, 200 series was second, 300 might have been the third year. I'm not exactly sure, so don't hold me to that. But any event, this is the TS204, and this is gorgeous. There is not a single sharp edge on this knife other than the blade. Every edge is rounded. Everything. The pocket clip, the titanium milled pocket clip, every edge has been rounded off. The G10 has been rounded off. They have put this very large titanium backspacer here to prevent the liner from digging into your hand as you hold it. This is the most pleasant knife to hold because it's the top of the blade. It's all been crowned. The whole length of it, all the way down, has been crowned. There is not a single sharp edge to be found. Right here, the flipper has been rounded, and even with the jimping, has been rounded off. They're not pointy. It's just gorgeous. We have some great looking carbon fiber here, kind of like a bolster effect. Some red G10 that helps pop out the pivot point there. And then I just love this white G10. I'm not sure if you can shows, but you can see a little texture in there. It's just gorgeous. And then the seam You can't even feel it. It's seamless between the carbon fiber and the G10. You cannot feel the seam at all. I love this white G10. This is my first knife with white G10, and I love it. I actually have a white G10 Damn Designs knife, I guess on pre-order, because they're going to be shipping in October. And I cannot wait to get it now. I love it. All right, so let's get to it. So, premium material so far, carbon fiber, G10, everything's been smoothed over. We have a titanium milled pocket clip, and it's deep carry. It has a relief cutout, so it's easy to pull up. And let's check out the action. It does ride on ball bearings. And look at that. Incredible action. And that's not just, watch this. Boom, just drop shut. And let's point this out. So we do have the relief cutouts to get to the liner locks. It is a liner lock. But look at this. The liner lock itself has been all smoothed over. How many liner locks have you experienced where they have the jimping that just digs up your thumb? I'll give you an example of that. Ontario Rat 2. There we go. See all those little jimping marks in there that kind of eventually just wears your thumb out. Here, we have none of that. It's all been smoothed over. Just attention to detail. And that action, incredible. So let's talk about the blade. Let's talk about billboarding first. So here we have, let me just clean that up. Of course, Civivi gives you plenty of free microfiber when you buy their knives. So we got their brand stamped right up here, which is, you can barely see it. There we go. Unobtrusive, I don't really like the other side though. Lots of billboarding here. All right. So first, let's talk about the steel. S90V. I mean, super steel. Incredible. At this price range, incredible. And now this is a collaborative design by Tepe Designs, and that's their mark on the top left-hand corner. And Two Suns does work with Tepe quite often. I've seen that mentioned in many of their listings. And then here's a marking of a designer I'm not well aware of. Again, I'm new to the hobby. I believe his name is Matt Simensky, and I apologize for pronouncing that wrong. So we have both of their maker marks on this side. We have the steel imprinted, which I find very helpful. And then it's apparently a numbered series. It's knife number 133. I'm not sure how many they've made or they're still making them. But it's a little busy. A little too busy for me. So let's go back to this side where it's not as busy. We have a Warrenclyffe, very acute point. We have a flat grind, satin, a nice thin stock. This is slicey. Very slicey indeed. No issues at all. So again, let's compare the sizes to some more common knives that I think most people are familiar with. There's the aforementioned Benchmade Bug Out. So roughly the same size. This blade is roughly 2.7 inches. It weighs 3.5 ounces. It is a very light knife. However, the handle is thick. Now, I like it because it fills my medium-sized hands. Unlike DCA, I don't have large hands. But as you can tell right away, the Bug Out, which is unique because it's a very lightweight knife, much thinner. In fact, I would say the TS204 is twice the size as the Bug Out, handle-wise. It does fit the hand, it feels great. No hot spots. Obviously, there's a clip there, but it does not bite into it at all. No problems at all. Unlike another Two Sun that hopefully I'll get to next, that is a very bitey and painful knife to hold. And then, of course, the Rat 2, which is obviously a much larger knife, but again, another knife most collectors are familiar with. And that's obviously going to be much larger than both the the bug out in the TS04. So let's remove those. And let's see how slicey it is. My apologies, my first video, so really didn't have the paper ready. Everybody likes to do the paper test. So let's try it out. So, no problem. And I've never had a problem with a Sun knife coming out of the box needing a sharpening. All of them, even the D2 knives, have been extremely, extremely sharp. So White Mountain Knives has this listed for $140 if they have it in stock. You can find it, if you're patient, on eBay as low as around $70, which is half of what it retails for. At least it did retail at one time for. A bargain. I think this is a bargain at $140, giving the materials a super steel, the carbon fiber, the bearings, the G10, titanium, and the action is incredible. Now, to me, this is a gentleman's knife. I know there's no real definition, but I'm not going to take this out in the backyard and bang away at it when I'm doing chores. I'm not taking this woods hunting with me or hiking with me. I'm taking this to the office. I'm taking this to special events. If I have to open something, cut a sandwich, yes. Will it do more than that? Yeah. Let me look at the lockup. We got a really nice lockup here. It looks like about 40 to 45%. It's a sturdy knife. It's not heavy, again, given carbon fiber and titanium. But I don't know. You just can't hammer on a knife that looks this gorgeous. It'd just be a shame. You could? Yeah, definitely. Would you? I wouldn't. It's got a cute tip, so obviously, careful, it's very sharp. You don't want to break the tip. But this would be perfect office carry, and that's where it's going to sit. I think I'll be carrying this into the office, special events, and it does remind me a little bit of the ProTech, the Godson, I believe, is the smaller than the Godfather. The automatic, I think they have a white and black automatic. Very classy look. I love it. No complaints whatsoever. Oh, I love that action. If you have any questions at all, feel free to drop a comment. I'll do my best to answer them. I hope this was helpful to somebody out there, looking to purchase a knife. And, well, you be the judge. What do you think?